was, and watching each and every ball
Yep.
is a tremendous job which needs a lot of concentration.
Correct.
It was not perfect because every stadium is different, every
Correct.
height and dimensions and everything is different. So it was basics when we started using those things. But so my journey in sports started from 95 onwards. Was the time in 94, 95 when ESPN Star Sports, the channels, private sports channels started in India. So I started my journey as a cameraman, starting with various organizations way back when Doordarshan was the only channel at the time. So I started my work with Doordarshan for a bit.
Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Life Beyond 22 Yards, and thank you for your continued patronage. So today we have a very special person with us who is not normally seen on the screen, but he's a very important person when it comes to cricket and any other live sports. So what I'm talking about is about cricket. Let's take any live international matches going on the screen day in day out. We see on the TV, be it IPL games. So whenever there is an appeal, you see a DRS referral or a umpire doing a referral. So immediately you hear the sound. TV umpire to director. I want this angle. I want DR. I want ultra edge. I want ball tracking. So who is the director? So normally we feel there's someone who is giving the TV umpire some information through videos, and the TV umpire is able to make a decision. So we are very fortunate today. We have with us one of the directors who is very respectfully and very fondly known as RK sir. RK sir, thank you very much for your time. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me with you.
Thank you. So uh, I am very sure our viewers will be very excited to know the person who is working very closely with the TV umpire behind the scenes to get the right decisions. So they will definitely have a lot of questions. So I've also noted on few questions what my friends and viewers have
Will
always
be
wanted to know.
will be very happy.
Yes, sir. Sir, like we call RK sir, his full name is Mr. Radha Krishnan. So, sir, I do know personally about you. We have worked together in few games. So, but for our viewers, can you please take us through your journey about your entry into the broadcast and what are your experience you have gone through?
To give a brief about myself, I'm basically a cameraman, professional who's trained as a cinematographer.
Okay.
So I started my journey as a cameraman, starting with various organizations way back when Doordarshan was the only channel at the time. So I started my work with Doordarshan for a very brief period.
Okay.
Then I was fortunate to join ISRO, and for almost 5 years, I worked at ISRO
Okay.
in Ahmedabad,
Okay.
which was one of the founding, or what you can say, the foundation years, where I could learn a lot from a lot of the best of the people
Okay.
in this field. And then somewhere down the line, being a cameraman, I had this liking to go and work in the movies.
Okay.
So I quit my job at ISRO and shifted to Mumbai to work in films, and briefly worked in films for a short time. But at the same time, when I moved to Mumbai, was the time in 94, 95 when ESPN Star Sports, the channels, private sports channels started in India.
Okay.
Plus production houses like IMG TWI, which were internationally known production house associated with ESPN Star Sports. So I was lucky enough to get a chance to work with them from the very beginning, when private sports came into coverage, broadcasters came into India.
Okay.
So my journey in sports started from 95 onwards. So till now, touchwood, I'm going strong. That's how my journey has been from my beginning to what I am at present. But presently, like I said, I have two parts to it. I have started off as a cameraman. So I was doing, worked as a sports cameraman for almost 20 years, covering major cricket, because India is a sports hub where cricket is the biggest game, and in the Asian subcontinent as well.
Okay.
So I've also covered the various other sports like athletics, football, tennis. You almost name the sports that's played in India. I've almost been part of the coverage of those sports. But predominantly, majority of my career as covering sports has been cricket. And in the last 10 years, I have moved on from cameraman to being a director behind the scene,
Yes.
covering the matches. That is what my journey has been till now.
Wonderful, sir. Sir, you have seen through the journey, the evolution of the game and the technology and the advent of technology in cricket, especially live sports technology. So, can you tell us about it a bit?
When I started or joined sports coverage, then it is to be a very basic coverage with around 10, 12 cameras.
Okay.
And the only additional technology, I will not call technology, but it was part of the broadcast, which was like used to have run out cameras.
Okay.
And after some times, we started off using the broadcast companies started using the matte cameras, we call, where we have a front on view of the batter with a mat physically done and through the vision desk.
Okay.
And the LBW decisions were brought in, but
Yes.
it was not perfect because every stadium is different, every
Correct.
height and dimensions and everything is different. So it was basics when we started using those things, but slowly and steadily, lot of technology started coming into the sports.
Okay.
And over a period of my sports involvement in the last 30 years, now there is a big part of technology that plays a big role in the coverage. So end of the day, the coverage is there to assist people like umpires and match referees, and also the audience to authenticate your decisions are almost spot on most of the times. So just to make sure that whatever little bit of human error is there, so the technology aids in refining those things and making sure the judgments are better. So I would call it that way. So, but end of the day, the person standing there and making the decisions is the final one. Technology is to aid those decisions. So, which has evolved a lot over a period of time.
Superb, sir. The basic now umpires are working with the technology. So few people initially they were of the opinion that umpire is fighting against the technology, but it's not true. We work with the technology and make sure that the game is not impacted in case an umpire makes an error. So technology is there to help the umpires and help the game.
This point of view is very subjective because this is a very touchy subject.
Yeah.
Because people have different opinion.
Okay.
But with my experience, I would say that earlier they used to call this a gentleman's. Even now we want it to be a gentleman's game.
Yeah.
So umpires were like highly regarded and their decision was final.
Yeah.
That was still a long format games most of the time, but now with the advent of shorter formats like ODIs and T20s and T10s and even Super Sixes, there is the formats are getting shorter and shorter as we go ahead because people's attention span and interest time is very, very limited. So there, the game, there are very high stakes when it comes to these short format games. So there is a lot of pressure on the players to perform and also on the officials to officiate.
Yes.
So, and people think it is very easy to stand there, but people like you would know standing there for 100 overs and watching each and every ball is a tremendous job which needs a lot of concentration.
Correct.
So, and out in the sun, so your concentration level has to be spot on. So, but there is always a certain percentage of human error.
Yes.
And these tools, I would say the latest technology that we use, like Hawkeye, the DRS technology, and all those things, those aid in helping a percentage of doubt that might creep into the decision. So it is always good. So end of the day, all of us want a fair game.
Definitely.
So nobody is here to make the game unfair. So it is all of us strive to make it sure that it is shown in the purest form. So these tools are there to aid, make it more refined and more enjoyable to the audience at the end of the day.
Very truly said, sir. Basically, the tools, the DRS tools, be it the technology, has helped us. So that end of the day, nobody is talking about the umpiring here because they feel an error is there. They have an opportunity to take DRS. They get the decisions right. So the game is not impacted. That's the whole idea of getting into it.
Yes, end of the day, we don't want controversies on the field.
Yeah.
And umpires' decisions are respected even to this date.
Yep.
You are the final authority when you are there to adjudicate all the decisions.
Yeah.
So whenever there is doubt and whenever there is technology available,
Yeah.
why not speed up the game and save time and just take the help of the technology to quickly get to a decision? And like all of us see the games, all of us watch the games with our high-speed cameras zoomed in to the line, to the stumps,
Yeah.
where every frame can be seen
Yes.
frame by frame, whether
Yes.
it is crossing. An umpire standing at 22 yards and making that split second decision
Yeah.
is highly recommendable.
Yeah.
So, the work that you're doing, whenever there is doubt, it is always good to take the aid of the technology
Yes.
and make sure that the decision is right. Sometimes it might be wrong, sometimes it might be right.
Correct.
That is why we use it.
Yeah.
But it is those very what you call very fine decisions where you feel there is a doubt.
Yeah.
That is where you go up. If you're confident, you always give a decision. And
Definitely.
majority of the times we have seen
Yes.
percentage of decisions are positively high.
Yes.
So end of the day, that is how games are. So we want more what you call confirmation that whatever is given
Done.
as a decision
Yep.
is 100% if
Yes.
possible,
Yes.
so that there is no doubt in anybody's mind when they're watching the game or playing the game, because every player wants to do the best, every official wants to give his best. So all of us, even us behind the broadcast, want to give the best so that it is the best ever enjoyable experience that a viewer has at the end of the day sitting at home and watching the
Yes.
game.
Very nicely explained, sir. The people listening to us, watching us, could visualize how what all things, what all work is there. It's not only about bat and ball. There are so many aspects associated with the game. So now our viewers are interested to know this. Like when a TV umpire interacts with you, so we have a player review for LBW, and they hear the director speaking, like you speaking. So, but we don't know, or our people don't know. That's only, is it you who work, or do you have a team? Do you have a separate sections of people who work? What are the things? How does it work, sir?
So putting out a broadcast, you have a team of professionals working behind the scenes.
Okay.
So you might see some of the cameramen on the ground with the
Yes.
camera who are physically present.
Yeah.
But there are a huge number of people who work in various departments behind the scene to put out a broadcast. So if I want to explain, starting off with the core of the thing is the equipment and the engineering part of it.
Okay.
Where the equipment comes into play. And then we have the camera department, which you obviously see once in a while in the camera among
Yes.
the crowd, on the ground and all those things. So which is the most integral part of the coverage, because when you're talking about visual, so you have to see something, then the camera is the foremost thing that you need, through which all the output is coming. And then you have audio associated with it.
Yeah.
So audio means it is an immersive experience where you hear the cheer of the crowd, to the effects of the bat hitting the ball, or a fine nick of a ball touching the bat. So from that minute audio from the stump mic to the effects of the whole stadium.
Yeah.
So there is a team of audio engineers and audio personnel who work in bringing out all this thing in a very best way, which you can really sit and enjoy. And then the cameramen, of course, are there to get the best of the angles, best of the visuals. And like how it is for umpires and us and the players, every ball is important, because you have to make sure that the ball is seen, a catch that is taken is in the middle of the frame. So every ball is important. You can't even take your eyes off for a second, and you might miss a ball.
Definitely.
So that way, it is very important to get the best visuals out. And then you have a vision mixer along with me. If I am the director, or directors like me, we have a vision mixer who sits, and on our command he selects the cameras, or the replay, or the graphics, or whatever that goes on air. And for that, then once again we have all those replays where you see the wonderful action being replayed.
Yes.
For the cameras and the emotions.
Yes.
and the best of the angles where you can see the revolution of the ball to the expression of the player and emotions of the crowd and the players and everything. So the replay, which is, we call it the EVS department, which does all the replay. So you have a set of people, every ball turning out replays, finding the best angles, finding the best replays from among the, say, if you're talking about an international match or IPL match, where you have 38 to 42 cameras in the present day that we are talking about. So every EVS operator has few number of cameras with him as an input. So he has to quickly see among those cameras which has the best reaction of the bowler, the batter, or if there is a catch, or if there is a dive, or if there is a crowd cheering and kids in the crowd and waving the flag. So they have to be attentive every ball. So I'm stressing all these things is because, like you, how you are there, every ball judging everything. So everybody working has to concentrate for those whole time the match is on. So you don't have time, because in live we don't have standby people working. So I can't say, okay, for 2 hours I'm going to have a cup of tea or anything. So everybody is an individual who's working there non-stop with no replacements. So from the start of the game to the end of the game, each and every department, people are there sitting and working for every ball that is happening. And then after the replays, you have all these graphics and wonderful virtual reality graphics and AR graphics on the laid out on the ground, and drone cameras with those beautiful graphics. And so you have an entire team of people generating those graphics. And to aid the graphics, you have people, statistician who's there to provide all the statistics, get the graphics ready, and bring it out to you, all the relevant information that is needed at every step of the game. So there is a statistician who's working along with the graphics team to support them, and the commentators as well. So, and then you have the Hawkeye technology that we have. There is a set of people who work with the software and all the aids of technology, which we call the Hawkeye technology, which we use here in India at the moment. So there is a team of people who work behind giving you all those ultra edge shots and the ball tracking and the runouts and the stumpings and all those things. So there is one set of people from the Hawkeye department who specialize and whose role is to provide all this aid for the DRS technology. Plus, at the same time, they do all this, lot of these analytics where you can see pitch maps and you can see a lot of those what you call technically supportive packages of wagon wheels and scoring areas. And so everybody is on their toe working to put out things which is relevant at every step of the game for every player. So it is a non-stop process that goes on. And then when we go higher up, you have the commentators, wonderful cricketers from across the world, and other commentators who are part of the broadcast, who bring life to the cricket coverage with the wonderful insights of the game and their wonderful explanation and commentary given to the game. So then you have a producer who controls all the content that goes on air. As a director, my responsibility to put out the things on air, and how to put it, from where to put it, is my duty. And equally important is the producer, who says when to put and what to put, say in terms of a graphic or in terms of a package that is coming. So you might get a commentator might want to talk about a bowler's pitch map, where he's bowling, his line, his length. So all those analytic, the producer gets it ready and tells me to put it out as a director. Then when it is ready, I put it on air. So it is a complete team effort. So if it is a coverage like an IPL, you have people around 80 to 100 people working behind the scene to put out a coverage. We sit at home, watch one screen where everything is dished out. But there is a big team of dedicated professionals working behind the scene to bring out this wonderful game of cricket or any other sport around the world. And the most exciting part for me is, it is very, very, what you call, edge of the moment the whole time you are working, because you never know where the ball is going to go. If I'm talking about cricket, so I might have done 500 matches as a cameraman, as a director, a few matches as a director, but every ball is new. Every situation is new.
Yes.
So every review that comes is new. Every time there are new challenges, new requirements.
Yes.
So that excitement of being on the edge of the seat all the time, at least gives me that satisfaction to work as a director and keep working as a director, because life is excitement anytime.
Superb, sir. You it was an exhaustive explanation or insight about how you work inside, because and you rightly said, now every ball is exciting, every ball is new, because of the game, of the nature of a game, cricket. It's a 360 degrees,
360 degree.
wherein other games, wherein you have the take lawn tennis or badminton or volleyball, whatever, the scope, or what you said, that the area of
I
game.
had put it this way. So some of these games are all lateral games. So where like if it is a football or a table tennis or badminton, tennis, basketball, some majority of these games are all lateral games, and hockey and everything, where it is from left to right or right to left, and the depth of the field is not great. So you have a limited space where the work is happening. Whereas in cricket, it is 360 degrees, and it's from on the ground, a cover drive caressing the field and going to the boundary, or a six which is going out of the stadium in Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore. So each and every ball is a new ball. You don't know what is going to happen. So, and especially with us, with the cameraman, with everybody, the toughest job is when there is a miscue. So batsman steps out and tries to hit over the cover, but does miss it and it's gone behind. So cameraman has to be very, very attentive to see the body language, see the shot, concentrate on the ball in the frame to make sure that it is there and covered properly. So all these small things make cricket very exciting and challenging to cover, which makes it very, very interesting for me to be part of.
Superb, sir. I had been fortunate enough to visit the broadcast room sometimes, where normally, why I'm saying this is, when as we individual or we human beings, when I'm speaking to one person, suddenly someone speaks, I'll be disturbed. I'll not be able to focus here and there. And I've seen a director who is wearing an earphone and is constantly speaking to around 25, 30 people, and he's the first one point of contact to the TV umpire, is one point of contact for the commentators. So he's giving information there, he's passing here, and he's telling the cameraman focus on this. So it's a non-stop work. Normally we feel that what is it? It's so easy. It is, why they're taking so much time to build the ultra edge? Why it's taking so much time to focus on this? But believe me, there's a lot of work which goes into uh, bringing the best to the television. Uh, now as we are talking about the tools, our viewers are interested to know how the tools work, especially the DRS tools, be it the Ultra Edge. Ultra Edge is what people see the spike. Sometimes they don't see the spike. Sometimes they see the spike, but the ball and bat, there is a gap. So what is Ultra Edge? How does it work? Can you give us some?
I'm not a authority on Hawkeye, but as I've been working in this field and I've been part of the team that uses the Hawkeye technology, I can share a few of my insights.
Yes, please.
But this is purely my point of view.
Yes.
And what is the basic premise of technology that we use for the DRS Hawkeye technology? Basically, the normal cameras that we use, I'll just start off with the basics and then get into DRS, where you have cameras which work at 25 frames per second, which is the normal cameras, which most of the cameras in the ground. And then we have the next grade of cameras, which we call the super slow-mo cameras, where you have the spin vision cameras and the some of the ground cameras getting the close-ups of the batters, which are in slow motion when we do the replays and all those things. So those are the next level of high-speed cameras, which is 3 times or 6 times faster than the normal camera. So then you have cameras called ultra motion cameras. So where these cameras can go anywhere from 240, 320 frames to 2000 frames to 3000 frames, depending on availability of light. So we have uh, uh, those cameras also as part of the coverage. So you have various high-speed cameras, from normal camera to high-speed camera. So the more the higher speed, the slower the action is. That is what we
Yes.
call slow
Slow
motion
motion.
when it comes to a super slow motion or ultra motion. So Hawkeye technology uses high-speed cameras. So where they have 4 cameras on the run-out positions
Yes.
on both the square,
Yeah.
and then you have 2 cameras on top in front, which we call the LBW bat cameras. And these cameras, along with the help of the software, they are aligned to perfection to align with both the middle stumps, so that the accuracy is guaranteed to the maximum extent the
Yes.
software allows, which is almost, I can say, a very good accuracy when it comes to Hawkeye technology. And then they have ball tracking technology involved with that. So it also uses all these high speed cameras around, plus based the majority is their software which integrates all these cameras and gives out the tools or the outputs that is required for a DRS decision. And you have the stump mics, which
Yeah.
is also connected to their software. So whenever there is an ultra edge, so the audio signal, the software picks up the audio signal and it processes it, and then the software is always uh, made sure when we start the game, before the start of the game, we do all the testing. We do the sync. We call it sync, that the audio and the visual has to sync frame by frame. So once that is done, so whenever there is a decision from you standing there as an umpire, so then the first thing is we do the super slow mo, which is a spin vision angle.
Yeah.
So where we can see the ball and the pitch and where it's going and everything. And then if there is any doubt, if there is no edge, or if the ball is very, very close to the bat or the glove, or if it is missing or hitting, then we go on to the ultra edge, where it gives you a front on and side on view in a split with the audio along with it, so that it is accurate. So you see the ball passing next to the bat or pad or glove, and then at the same time, if there is a touch, the audio is picked up and that audio signal is shown real time in that along with the visual. So that aids in giving a decision whether there was a bat involved or not. So and then once that is conclusive, and if there is no bat, like you ask for a ball tracking, then the software, there are multiple people working on different set of aspects of the DRS. So then you have the ball tracking, which basically you have the ball from the hand pitching and touching the batsman or not touching, and then it is a projective thing, predictive follow through, which is highly sophisticated software that is used to bring out these outputs of the ball tracking and everything. So these are the kind of technology that is being used for giving out DRS aspects for the third umpire to take a decision. That is how the technology works here.
Superb. I think many of our friends, viewers had this doubt: how does it work? Why do they ask this? Why it is important? Why is it not important? So I'm very sure all our doubts are answered here. uh, RK sir, one last question. You have been working with different teams, be it the commentating team, be it the EVS team, be it the umpires. So, and it might not be only in India. You might be working with people all around the globe, or you might be traveling to different places. So, what are the challenges you face as a director?
Uh, as a director, I am as good as my team.
Yeah.
To put it out, if my team is good, I look good. So because I all I have to do is put the right things at the right time, which has to go on air. So the challenges are basically electronics. End of the day, equipments are electronics. But with the advent of number of cameras that we have, the bigger and larger production coverages that we have, so we have, if 1 or 2 camera fails here and there, they will rectify it within an hour or something. So we don't make it appear for a viewer that something is wrong. So everything is working simultaneously to rectify the problems and keep moving on. These are all minor problems that we face, but the challenges are, you do a match, then you travel to another place, and the new equipment, new kit, you rig those equipments, you set up, you test them. So sometimes there is a delay in the equipment reaching. Sometimes you're working till late in the night to set up and make sure that everything is tested, so that on the day of the match, when you come, everything is ready for a coverage. Plus travel, stay. So few of the challenges for me individually, when I was single, I loved traveling. So I had the opportunity to travel almost to most of the cricket playing nations across the world. So it was a good thing traveling around, seeing places, covering cricket, interacting with various people, various cricket boards, working with them. So I've worked with, starting with uh, TWI, ESPN, Star Sports when they started in India, then briefly with Doordarshan as a co-production partner through Nimbus,
Okay.
then with Nimbus and Neo Sports, then with Star Sports, then I worked with Ten Sports, then Sony. So then I've worked with Sky. So in South Africa, so been traveled and worked with various companies and sports broadcasting channels across the world. So it's been an interesting journey. But the challenges are, as you move on in age, as you move on in life, you have responsibilities, then you get a family, and then there is a lot of pressure. Then traveling obviously keeps you away from the family for long periods of time. So because sometimes if it is a tour, longer tour of say 4 or 5 test matches and 3 ODIs, and in the present day T20s, you're out for 2.5 months, 2 months, 3 months. So it's a longer duration stay away from the family. So many of these challenges are different at various stages of life. I would put it that way. So other than that, if you're loving what you're doing, I don't see too many challenges when I'm passionate about doing something which I like doing.
Yeah.
So that gives me a lot of happiness, and not having any problems, and minor problems are always overlooked when going around. Some technical challenges are always there, part of the coverage. Like you also might have experienced many times, sometimes the light tower fails, there is a delay. Sometimes the power goes off, sometimes there is some issue, or Hawkeye is down. So then we always communicate and say the Hawkeye is down, though reviews may not be available briefly. So as quickly as it possible, it's restored. For everything, we have backup most of the time. So in a very quick time, things are rectified and brought back. So all these challenges will be part of the broadcast, because like we say, might sound philosophical, but nothing is perfect in this world. So there is always chance for minor problems and errors and all those things. So how we overcome those things, and the whole responsibility of the broadcast team is to make sure that people sitting and watching are not aware of these problems that happen in the background, and make sure they have a seamless, enjoyable experience. And especially with the present day thing, adding to the technological discussion that we have, there are two parts to a cricket coverage. In the present day, we have a lot of new technology that has come in. So like we have those drone cameras, we have buggy cameras. So spider cam, some part of it is like purely technical in the aid of the game. Some of these cameras, like the spider cam and the drone and the buggy cam, gives the viewer another kind of joy and experience of the atmosphere in the ground, the crowd, the players. Whenever there is 100, for example, Kohli celebrate with it bad, or Rohit Sharma, and you have a beautiful crowd standing up and cheering in the background with the buggy camera or the spider camera moving. So it is a wholesome experience that you get out of the present day broadcast, with so many tools available. So it's a very wonderful experience bringing out these things and putting out for the audience that watch the cricket. And if we are able to satisfy them and make them enjoy the game, then we have succeeded in doing what we are doing and putting out the game the best possible way.
You have you are really doing a great job, sir, in terms of bringing the best and entertaining the viewers and all. So on behalf of all my friends, viewers, I again thank you, sir, RK sir, for giving us your time. Despite I know you just finished a knockout game, you're running for a next game. So, in despite your busy schedule, thank you for giving time for us. I wish you all the best for your coming assignments, and we wish to work together again.
Looking forward to
Yes.
working on many, many more matches together again.
Yes.
Thank you once again for having me with you and giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts with you.
Yes.
Like Abhijit sir has been, we have been working on a lot of matches together. So it has been a pleasure sharing my thoughts with Abhijit sir here.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, friends. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Please put on your comments, your questions, and I'm sure it will be answered. So please do not forget to subscribe and like the channel. All the best, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.